Hey team, how's it going? Eddie Gray here with the Modern Creative, and today we're taking a look at Buso Audio's Pilot. This is a touch capacity monitor that allows you to mix your music with your hands, essentially, giving you an inherent tactile workflow that really is second to none. I'm going to show you examples in this video, but first let's go over some of the specs. They basically utilize an app to control the compatibility with all the various applications and operating softwares. As you can see, I'm scrolling right now. This is an 18.5 capacitive touch display and it has anti-glare coating. Specific resolution is 1080. They do have a bigger model that outputs 4K if you're interested in that. Full multi-touch support. This is VESA mountable. It also comes in a rack mount as well. So obviously we can scroll, we can pinch to zoom. There's a lot that we can do. We can swipe, we can edit. You can see all of the specs up here and it works with all of these DAWs. Today I will be demoing Logic Pro. So hookup could not be any easier. Essentially, you hook up via USB and HDMI, and then you simply remap your display. It is one touch, as simple as that. Highly recommend for new users that you go into the settings and you check everything. This is my display, 1920 by 1080. The larger model does have 4K available. You can switch this to portrait mode if that works for you. And after that, I highly recommend you go to the gesture guide. They just released an update where you no longer have to use two fingers to right click, and so that may take a little bit of practice for you. So there's that. All right, I want to show you the workflow. I couldn't stress how amazing it was to set this up. As a former user of Slate, I was like very disappointed with just how long everything would take. And so it's nice to be able to do things like zoom out, zoom in. Now this is horizontally, but I could also do this vertically like this. And so that's also very nice. In conjunction with my snap to bar, I could make decisions. For example, if I want to trim out a bar 8 here, simply hold command to access the marquee tool. There's the cut there, hit delete, and I'm good to go. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that. All right, I will hold command and double click here in order to get a chop. Go into the region inspector. That region is selected, that track is selected. Let's select more and we'll reverse that specific region. All right, I am here, and so I'll control B. Let's mute that. You can see I'm moving a little bit faster. It doesn't take that long to do all the basic stuff. And if I'm being completely honest with you, for somebody that works, depending on the day, 6, 10, 12 plus hours, it's nice just to be able to move with freedom. A hold option to close all of these. Hit the EQ thumbnail. Let's go ahead and just get a quick low cut. Let's do a band pass here. We'll lift this up a little bit. Okay, let's go here. Let's check that out. Okay, I want to reduce the region gain. So let's go to region, drop the gain from here. One way to do it. Another way is obviously to hit TG. That opens up the gain functionality and we can click hold. Now there's a difference between selecting something like quickly like that and then to really get something to function. So there with gain, I have to click hold. That's how Pilot identifies that I'm working with the hold function. That seems to work out really nicely there. Let's hit TT to go back to the regular functionality. I'll hit V to escape. I could also just click on that little button there. All right, let's go into automation, and we're going to bring up the pencil tool, and I'll ride this just a little bit. Here we go. All right, and let's create a high cut on this track. I'll hit A, click on the high cut. That's identified there. And yeah, you can see how it's just kind of easy to move. It doesn't take that much time, energy. Let's take a listen to this. We can go into the audio track editor if we want to get a closer look. Again, make any chops or what have you. If I open this up, access the fade tool, click, hold, drag to the left, and there is my fade. If I control click that, I can slow down, and let's take a listen. I literally plugged this in via USB HDMI and there was no setup. I mean, I was able to move very quickly. It's very important to me to be able to have a workstation like this. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it makes it way more fun, makes it way more interactive. I'm all about it. Next time, I'm definitely getting the bigger model just to have a little bit more space. But all in all, super thrilled about the Pilot. And as I'm wrapping this video, Buso just released a brand new update 2.1.2 that allows for renaming by means of a text entry box. You can move this off to the side for those of you that don't work on your main station, or you can simply just get rid of it. Something else is the ability to fine tune various faders at once, so you can see the pop-up screen, and now I'll control 2 or more faders. Let's try this out. Yeah, that's nice. You could always control plugin parameters, but now you're able to control faders and plugin parameters at the same time. You can work seamlessly between both. You have multi-fader control. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right, I just would like to answer a couple of questions that you might be interested in. Making these purchases is something that you should not take lightly. You work very hard for your money, and so you have to kind of make an assessment. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. I don't think this tool is required to make great music. If you have a setup that works for you already, then you're probably already in a good space and you don't need to add anything. In fact, I would even venture to say that adding equipment could be harmful, can allow you to not move forward and can actually make you regress. So be careful with that. A couple of things to answer. It says, how many simultaneous touch points does Pilot support? It says up to 10 simultaneous touch contacts at the hardware level. Mac OS versions that are supported, Ventura or later, runs natively on Apple Silicon. Perhaps some people in post-production are curious, does this work for other non-music applications? It says there are built-in profiles for browsers. You can use touch for navigation, scrolling, and interactions in any Mac OS application. I would like to use this in every possible way. So this is not just a music thing for me. Like I said, I put in hours, so I really want to make sure that I get a productive flow throughout the day. I like to move from station to station. This does function as a secondary display. That's actually how I'm using it. I think this one's important for those of you that use Slate back in the days. Pilot does not utilize UPDD, so they kind of built their own proprietary tech for this. Let's look at the touch gestures that are available. Single tap, double tap, long press, drag, 2-finger scroll, pinch to zoom, 2-finger swipe. Buso drivers constantly being improved with new gestures and features added weekly. Can I control faders and knobs? 100% you can do that. And I think that's pretty much it. So again, bear in mind that there are 2 versions of the Pilot. And so if you go to their website, go to accessories, go to Pilot, and you can check out both versions. Please do not rush this purchase. Again, not necessary whatsoever. But if it helps with inspiration, if you have the resources and you've budgeted and you're already making money doing music, then I can see this making sense, but not going to help you, then what's the point? If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You know, I actually just purchased a desk from these guys, so at some point we're going to get that built out. And if it's appropriate and I got the time, I'll make a video about that. All right, Eddie Gray signing out. Thank you guys so much for the support. God bless you. Bye.